Well, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome indeed to this evening that you have been eagerly looking forward to. And yes, each of you deserves a very loud round of applause because you are the very embodiment, the personification of timely wisdom, of those who provide effective solutions with effective strategies. So would you like to put your hands together for yourselves, please? Thank you very much. And with that, we'd like to welcome you to Slim Effie's 2010 in association with Foyers. We welcome you officially to Slim Effie's 2010. Now, Effie's is not something new. As a matter of fact, Effie's originated in the US, but it commenced in Sri Lanka in 2008.
Oh, yes.
And it was introduced in the US in 1968. And from 1968, well, Effie's has been providing the awards and for ideas that work in a global sense, in that it is the global benchmark for creative effectiveness.
And now, coming back to Sri Lanka, we know that the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, the premier marketing body of Sri Lanka, holds the local franchise for Effie's. And talking of the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, we are getting ready for very special words of welcome.
That's right. To welcome you to this evening, we'd like to warmly invite on stage the president himself of the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, Mr. Rohan Somavansa. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Somavansa.
Ayubowan, all of you. The great advertising guru, David Ogilvy once said, the good advertisement is one which sells the product without drawing attention to itself. Guest of honor for the evening and past president of SLIM, Mr. Taslim Rahman, Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Bugs, Professor Derek Godfrey, Advisor to the Effie's jury, Mr. Lasantha Bikrama, Head of Jury, Mrs. Ramani Samarsundara, Panel of Judges, President of the FOIS, Mr. Keith Vijaysurya, and its members, sponsor representatives, past president of SLIM, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great honor to welcome all of you to the Effie's 2010 award ceremony. Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing having identified the need for the advertising industry to be driven towards effectiveness, especially in an economic environment where every rupee spent on advertising matters. So we launched Effie's in Sri Lanka in the year of 2008, which is a global award program conducted by American Marketing Association, New York chapter. Unfortunately, Dr. Nick Fonterella President of the Philippine Marketing Association and the Chairman of the Asia Research Foundation, who was with us in Sri Lanka to join the Effie Gala, which was scheduled for the 11th November, had to return to Philippines due to the postponement of the event as a result of unfavorable weather conditions. I wish to thank all of you for making this night possible and for the patient to wait nearly an additional couple of weeks to find out the results of the award program. Finally, I would like to appreciate the commitment and the courage shows Project Chairman Karthik Ilankpon and the Vice President of SLIM, Mr. Tushara Perra. Wish you all the best and may the best win. Thank you very much.
We'd like to invite another gentleman on stage, and that is a gentleman who is the president of 4As. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Keith Vijay Surya, who will now address you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Advertising doesn't adhere to the same old categories anymore. It isn't even simply advertising anymore, says the Effie's international website. Today, much more has changed than our business. Changed since the day I began in the industry that I love too much. Today, as an integral, crucial tool of marketing, advertising is seen as critically impacting the bottom line. Advertising is no more a nice-to-have activity. It has become a must-have marketing imperative. Today, advertising affects balance sheets unlike it did before. Today, brand equity, brand loyalty, brand goodwill, brand value, call it what you may, top the asset value of companies, virtual and real, accounting for more than 90% of their market capitalization. Ask Microsoft, or for the young guys here, ask Facebook. Therefore, advertising has also become more answerable. It has been held responsible. It has been held accountable. It has been asked to show results. It is not enough for the industry to generate ideas. It must generate ideas that work in the marketplace. It must design communication strategies that connect the brand with the consumer. It must use media in a manner that engages the different consumers of today. In short, advertising needs to work and has to prove that it has worked. Advertising needs to be recognized for this work. This is where the Effie's Awards plays a crucial role, giving the ad industry an international benchmark to work towards. And thank you.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Effie's is here today because of so many factors. But there are a group of people who actually put in a lot of work to make this evening possible, to make the awards a reality. And these individuals had a colossal task on their hands, a very difficult task on their hands. And we are talking about the panel of judges.
Now we're going to see the judges or the members of the jury on stage when they will be recognized in a moment. And to appreciate the judges and present them tokens of appreciation, we would like to invite two people on stage, namely the chairman of Slim Effie's 2010, Mr. Karthik Elangoban, and also we would like to invite President of the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, Mr. Rohan Somawansa. So can we invite you both gentlemen on stage? To a round of applause from you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we start with the advisor to the jury panel, and that is none other than the head of he was the head of the jury at the first Effies in 2008, and he was also head of the Blueprint Committee. He is Mr. Lasantha Abevikrama, who is the Managing Director of Divantas Training Private Limited. Now, Mr. Abevikrama is not with us at the moment.
And now we move on to the members of the jury, Mr. Sachi Thomas, the Chairman, Managing Director, Consumer for GlaxoSmithKline Beckham Private Limited.
We also have the AGM Marketing of Sampath Bank, Mr. Taraka Ranwala.
And next, we would like to recognize Madam Vidya Sivaraja, the Director Marketing for Fonterra Brands Lanka, but we're told that she's not present this evening. But let's put our hands together to Ms. Vidya Sivaraja.
We also have the Chief Executive Officer of Vanguard Management Services, Mr. Lakshman Bandaranayaka, who is also not with us this evening. However, your appreciation is invaluable.
And also a professor attached to the Kelaniya University, Professor Sunanda Degamboda, is also not with us this evening, but let's put our hands together to Professor Degamboda.
Then we do have the Senior Vice President of Quantum Strategic Services Private Limited, that's Ms. Roshani Fernando.
Mr. Rohan Rajaratnam, Managing Director, Words Advertising.
Vice President Grants Group, Mrs. Laila Gunasekara Martinstein, who is again not present with us. However, you could put your hands together in appreciation.
And yes, the Chief Operating Officer for Low LDB, Mr. Chalaka Gajabahu.
And we have the Chief Executive Officer of BBDO Sri Lanka, Mr. Keith Vijayasuriya.
And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to invite the head of the jury, a very well experienced person in marketing, advertising, and a lady responsible for building premier brands in Sri Lanka. Let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, to the head of the jury. That's the Marketing Director, Personal Care for Unilever Sri Lanka, Mrs. Ramani Samarasundara. There you go, the members of the jury for Slim Effie's 2010.
And we would like to say a big thank you once again to all in the panel of judges. Thank you very, very much.
Right, we'd like you to remain, Madam Samarasundara, to, yes, that's the head of the jury, the Marketing Director, Personal Care for Unilever Sri Lanka. Let's once again put our hands together and welcome on stage Mrs. Ramani Samarasundara, who's going to address all of you. Thank you.